Hi, welcome to a new video, and in this one we're having a look at the new RFactor 2 user interface. Seems odd doing a video for a user interface, but in the case of RFactor 2, I'll be honest, it's massively needed. This is actually the second time to my knowledge that they've tried redoing the user interface for RFactor 2. I only had a limited amount of time with the original one, and it was bloody awful, being perfectly honest. They then, a year or so ago, if I recall correctly, tried improving the UI, and it did look better, but it was, well, it looked better than the original. It still didn't flow particularly well. It didn't work as a user experience, but it was an improved user interface. So while it kind of exceeded the previous interface from an experience point of view, it was still appalling. It really was. So fast forward about another year into 2022, and we have another update to the user interface. So it's definitely improved the interface, there's no doubt about that. The layouts look better, they look more modern, they're cleaner, they're more functional, but does it work from a user experience point of view? Is it more straightforward and logical to follow, and does it work quicker and neater? And I have to say, yes, it does from that perspective. It is definitely quicker and easier to move around. It's more logical in its approach, and you can now also get into races a lot quicker from the actual main screen point of view. There doesn't appear to have been a huge amount of change in the time to load, and you still have the odd issue that the first time you load a track or a card that you've not used before, or you've not used since it's been updated, it takes longer, and subsequent times some cached information does then load it up a lot quicker than before. But it's not massively sped up that side of things. But as far as a user interface goes, yes, it's definitely better than it was, and as an experience it is definitely better than it was, so it's a big thumbs up in that regard. It, however, still doesn't change one of the big bugbears for me, and one of the annoyances around RFactor 2 that I still have, that almost no other title in this day and age has. And that is the fact that if I add new content to it, either through the Steam Workshop or it's had an update, when you boot the game up for the first time, you still have the secondary unpacking and installation of all of this content and the updates. And quite frankly, we should be well beyond that in 2022. It's just absurd that we still have to face that in a title. I've already updated it via Steam. I've watched it update via Steam. That should be the end of it. When I kick the game off, that should all have been put in place in the background, and it should all have been tidied up. And I think changes around this area clearly are far more fundamental to the core of the game and how it's structured in its code than I think is something that could be changed easily, because I see no reason why you wouldn't want to get rid of that. It forms a bit of a double-edged sword, because it's annoying and it's an extra barrier to getting into and playing RFactor 2. It, from my point of view anyway, it puts me off doing it, so I don't boot it up, and then you obviously get more updates, so when you do boot it up, it's going to take even longer. So it's a vicious cycle of, no, I can't be bothered because it's got to update for a second time, so I leave it, and then it's going to get progressively worse each time, to the point that, a few weeks have passed, you boot the game up and go and make a cup of tea or coffee while you wait for the damn thing to start. So whilst the new UI has improved the user experience, and certainly does look a lot more modern and a lot newer, it still hasn't got rid of some of the core problems around the way that RFactor 2 functions as a title from that overall user experience, which is a shame because it's still a great title and a really enjoyable one, and I really like the physics of it, and I like the title a hell of a lot, but it's still not quite there. It's closer than it's ever been, but still not quite there. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the new RFactor 2 user interface, and how it impacts on the user experience. If you found this video interesting, please do hit the like button, and if you want to see more content like this, please do subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon to be notified when new content gets uploaded. Thanks very much. Take care.